So it's time for another one of those videos where I give you guys info about an upcoming season, but I can't show you actual footage of it yet because none of it's been released. So I slapped together some shoddy b-roll to explain it, and I'm also just slightly miffed that the garrisons haven't come to Insiders yet, and that's what I had planned for today's video. But no, apparently 3 weeks is enough testing and feedback for Season 18's most anticipated feature, so I'm sure everything will be fine. But anyway, if that hasn't sold you, let's talk about Season 19, I guess. Season 19 is kicking off with what Rare is calling a war effort, which is pirate talk for everyone's about to fight over glowing balls again. First up, we've got a brand new permanent voyage for both Reaper Bones and Athena's Fortune, two sides of the same coin, depending entirely on whether or not you prefer working for a flaming skeleton overlord or a ghostly pensioner who refuses to retire. These voyages send your crew to a very secret meeting somewhere in the Sea of Thieves, and by very secret, I of course mean every sweaty brig within 6 map squares will somehow know where you are. If you're siding with Athena, you'll be joined by legendary Athena Phantoms, and if you're rolling with the Reapers, you'll instead get mercenary skeletons. Your brand new NPC friends will escort you to a mysterious dig site where you'll uncover an ancient plinth buried in the sand. This is all sounding very familiar. Inside it, the brand new treasure item for Season 19, the Orb of Souls. Ooh. Once you dig this thing up, a ritual begins, and again, sounding very similar to something else. And when I say ritual, I mean a massive glowing please come steal me beacon visible to every pirate on the server. During the ritual, you'll need to fight off waves of enemies and potentially half the player population of Sea of Thieves, all while praying your helmsman remembers which direction the wind works. This little glowing menace is essentially a soul-powered piggy bank. It absorbs the souls of defeated enemies, and each soul increases its value, meaning the longer you survive, the richer it gets. And the more likely that someone named XX Super Sinker 420XX is currently sailing directly towards you. For those who might have noticed, yes, this is the orb we all ventured out to look for the trading companies in the current season. That's the backstory for it, for all the 10 people who actually took part. Crews can stack souls into these orbs to absurdly high values. We're talking gold hoarders nervously checking their vault insurance levels of profit. You can earn these orbs through the new voyages, or, because piracy apparently now has retail options, you can buy them from the Smugglers League. Throughout Act 1, both Captain Flameheart and the Pirate Lord will ask you to hand in special versions of these orbs, so they can gain the upper hand in their ongoing cosmic midlife crisis. You can also turn in standard orbs, meaning everyone gets to contribute, whether you're a hardened PvP warlord or someone who still anchors their ship during combat because it feels safer. Both leaders will track progress through updated dialogue, letting you know who's winning the war and who's currently writing strongly worded ghost letters. So yes, your questionable sailing directions now directly impact the global pirate politics. No pressure. The Smugglers League has expanded, and when I say expanded, I mean they have one new item. Each smuggler will now sell a Orb of Souls for a modest amount of gold. Their stock is limited, but they will restock periodically. The main difference with the Smugglers' Orbs is that they can be sold to any trading company, instead of being faction locked. So whether you're loyal to Athena, the Reapers, or simply loyal to whatever pays the most, there's now a orb for you. With the war escalating nicely into full dramatic chaos, both sides decide the logical next step is to start fighting inside the Sea of the Damned, because clearly the normal ocean wasn't dangerous enough. Act 2 introduces Last Sloop Standing, a special hourglass mode designed specifically for sloop crews. You'll enter a bespoke combat arena where you'll face up to 5 rival sloops. The arena features shrinking battle boundaries and standardized supplies, ensuring that nobody can run away for 3 hours while pretending they're resetting. Only the most skilled or luckiest crews will survive long enough to claim the rewards. This mode is technically time limited during Act 2, but Rare has hinted it may return later, joining the ever-growing collection of events we all miss dearly until they randomly reappear 2 years later and nobody cares. Stop time-gating seasonal content. The results from Act 1 will directly affect Act 2. Whichever faction collected the most souls will gain a bonus that increases allegiance and gold rewards in Last Sloop Standing. If you're chasing curses, bragging rights, or simply enjoy glowing ominously while intimidating new players at outposts, you might want your side to win. And I can tell you right now, it's going to be the Reapers. People are more interested in skeleton cosmetics rather than glowing like a lampshade. Finally, Act 3 brings something players have wanted for years. Apparently, a reimagined Kraken encounter called the Daughter of the Depths. This is a permanent opt-in world event that basically takes the Kraken, feeds it a pre-workout, and gives it new attack mechanics. Crews will spot the Kraken tentacles emerging on the horizon and can sail towards them to trigger a staged boss battle. The fight begins with classic tentacle combat before escalating into a full confrontation with the creature's head, featuring entirely new attacks. In short, it's bigger, meaner, and significantly more likely to ruin your day. You can encounter it naturally or dive directly into the fight if you're feeling brave, confident, or simply haven't lost enough supplies recently. Defeating the Daughter of the Depths rewards exclusive new treasure, which I imagine is a reskinned Hunter's Call chest or something, I don't know. Do us proud, Rare. Act 3 also changes the world depending on who won Act 1. If Flameheart wins, Reaper reinforcement posts will appear across the islands. Reaper emissaries can summon mercenary skeleton squads to help fight enemies and guide them to high-valued berry loot. If the Pirate Lord wins, Athena reinforcement posts will appear instead, summoning pirate legend phantoms who assist in combat and lead you to treasure while floating around looking dramatically heroic. So, bone and blade skeletons, but different colors. Right, gotcha. So that pretty much wraps up the entirety of Season 19's content. I think it's fair to say it does sound a little more beefy than Season 18. Not a fan of Last Ship Standing being time limited, and I think we can all agree on that. This war effort thing sounds interesting, but I worry about the execution and whether or not it'll actually mean anything at all, let's be honest. The Kraken fight sounds like a nice change of pace, but I think it would have been the perfect time for a totally new sea monster, to be honest. Anyway, it's too early to tell right now, and that's the fish and chips of it all, but if you want to keep updated as more news comes in, don't forget to drop a like and give that sub a cheeky poke, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Happy sailing. Also, cheeky sneak peek to a special video incoming tomorrow.